notes.
You're writing notes? Since when do we write notes?
You've been doing it.
Yeah, but this is just because my brain craps out.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Candice.
And welcome to Don't Start.
And as we like to say, don't start.
Candice, save it for the show.
Exactly. So let's get to it. You have beautiful handwriting.
No, and I'm frantically writing right now, and so I have a lot of pride in that. Thank you for leading me
Did you
into
see
that direction? Because I was one of the first out of like 2 people to get my pen because my handwriting was so good.
In school?
Yes, I got moved from pencil to pen.
Oh, that's a big deal.
And I went to the front of the class, and I was one of the first.
That's a big deal.
I know.
Look at mine.
I hold back
look at
pride.
this. Look at this fucking signature.
It's really funny though.
Got a great signature.
But I'm writing like a kindergarten teacher.
Yes, you do.
And I was going to tell you all my birthday cards that I got. The women had gorgeous handwriting.
Catholic school.
So I do script, but when I doodle, I do script.
I'm telling you, Catholic school has made my handwriting phenomenal. That is the only thing I can get from Catholic school.
And the thing that when we get those compliments, then you say, what do I do with good handwriting?
My mom goes, why don't you have a calligraphy business?
Yes, exactly.
I was like, do you think I'm going to sit here and write out people's invitations, Ma?
Well, you know
That's
what?
she wants
We
me to
know
do.
now, the new generation, there will be no calligraphy.
There'll be
They're
nothing.
not learning penmanship.
They're not learning penmanship.
Signature.
They can
I mean, what do
AI
you
the
call
whole
it?
fucking thing.
Okay, that's another whole conversation. They're not AIing their cards.
Assuming you can AI anything.
No,
anything.
And you can.
You can.
They're not learning it in schools anymore.
No, they're not learning it in school.
Cursive.
I think it's called, or I just say script, but yes, it's cursive.
Yeah.
But they're not teaching it at all.
So, the time is now for calligraphy.
The time is now, calligraphy people. Get on this.
Get on it. So today, I think we're going to be talking about friendships and relationships and the importance in life.
It's the importance of having friends in your now, we're not middle-aged yet, but like that age where it's like you're busy, you got families, you got jobs, you're running, but then you still have to do friend life. You have to have that outlet. And it's hard to find that circle. When I was in my 20s, I don't know about you, I had a ton of friends. Not because I was just friends with everyone, but I did. I have a lot of friends, a lot of going out. As I started to, get older, your circle gets smaller.
Well, your time is really important.
Yes.
Because you are a mom. You want to be a good mother. You want to be a good wife. You want to be a good daughter. So there's this time to make sure you're dedicating to that part of your life and then still nurture yourself.
Yes.
So then how do we make sure to keep these friendships knowing that you matter to me and this relationship is so important?
It's tough. I think
girls' night.
Girls' night. I said girls' trip before we jumped on the mics, and you were like, "I've never done a girls' trip."
I've been on a bachelorette party, and then
no, that's not a girls' trip. A bachelorette party is like you're honing in on the girls getting married. It's a bunch of dicks. You're going.
There's so many dicks.
So many
dicks are flying. Could we put them away?
As I sit here and
strip
say
clubs
that,
are gross.
For my sister's bachelorette party, of course. For my sister's bachelorette party, I did. She said I don't want to do a strip club. So I was like, okay. So but
Kelly's
words
impressions.
were, my sister was, I don't want to do a strip club, but I want there to be dicks. And I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to do this?
So they're blowing up.
So no, you know what I did? I brought us to that naked guy boys singing show where their dicks are just out and they're singing musical tunes. It was awesome.
Should we bleep out this episode? The amount? Aren't there different words for it?
Peachy. My mom says pishkadeel. Pishkadeel.
Pistachios. And pishkadeel's like
Peachy. That's what we call it.
You're ding-a-ling.
You're ding-a-ling.
Put your ding-a-ling away.
I don't know. This episode's going awry. Well, but I do think
it's funny because if you look at languages,
yes,
when something has a lot of words for that thing, it's because it said a lot.
Yeah.
But we're just making a schlong.
Schlong. Your pish. I
feel like we're doing that episode of from SNL where they're like the sweaty balls.
The sweaty balls. Sweaty. Yes, I agree with you. I think that going to a bachelorette party is too many dicks, and it's a lot.
You still said it.
I still said it, and it's a lot, right?
I still need you to use another word.
But that's not a girl's thing. You're like celebrating the bride.
You're staying so.
I'm going back on topic with that.
I am literally pink.
You're celebrating the bride. That's not a girl's trip. It's fun. You're glad your bride has fun, and
I said,
blah,
it's
blah,
not
blah.
about me. I can't be here anymore.
Yeah, like
I'm just joking.
No, I know.
That's why I was bad at bachelorette parties.
But I think you were not bad at bachelorette parties.
I wasn't good.
But I think a solid girls trip.
I left the bachelor party and went and hung out with. That was when I was younger and maybe a little bit more selfish. And I went and met up. Well, I suggested a place because I used to live in the city. I was in Miami.
So then you left the bachelor party?
I went and met up with friends. I said, we should be going to Nikki Beach. It's right on the beach. It's a great place.
Oh my God, you're hilarious.
And then a glass fell on my head. Karma, maybe.
But now.
A glass fell on my head from the balcony above.
That was a little bit of karma. It was God being like, get it together. Yeah, it happens. It happens.
But I knew where we should be, but I guess everybody would have got knocked in the head.
It's a bachelor party. It's not the best. No one has the best
I looked
time.
at a fork the other day and I said, is this my silverware? That was how I was trying to figure out if I had a concussion or not. My girlfriend was doing this.
Are you serious?
But I was like, is this my fork that I usually... Do I remember this?
Oh my
I had a concussion.
God. You had a concussion.
But
I would say bachelorette, no, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about like a girls trip where like you go to a cabin or with like a bunch of friends. And
I did glamping but it was not just girls. It was girls and gays.
Trip.
Girls and gays.
Actually, girls and gays is a lot of fun. I've done those too. Those
are amazing. We all wore caftans. Well, no,
amazing.
We didn't. All the men wore caftans and all the girls were basically in jorts.
Yeah.
Jean shorts.
I think there's like a trip. I think all women should do this, where there's like a trip where it's like, okay, I'm not going to look at my phone for work. I'm going to try my hardest to not look at my ring to see if my child is asleep, to not track my husband's car to see where he is, or my boyfriend's or partner's. Like, there's got to be, not that I'm saying I do any of those things. I don't.
She does them all.
I definitely do the ring.
Revealed it.
I definitely do the ring where I'm like, is he freaking sleeping yet?
I do love the ring. But then I feel attached where I love that I GPS Chad because I could see he's almost home.
Well, that's cute.
Or I say, where the hell is he?
Yeah, excuse me. That was not on the route.
Husband tracker. So yeah, Candice calls it the daddy tracker.
The daddy tracker.
Yeah, for the girls.
There's also this thing called Life 360, which I get a kick out of, where parents can track their kids.
That's important.
In their cars. The reason I get a kick out of it is I was outside and my neighbor, Italian guy, go figure.
Your nails done.
I know my nails are chipping.
Sorry.
Sarah is having a stroke. My nails are chipping. I'll get them done. But I will say he was outside on his app. And I'm not going to say the name of his daughter, so I'm going to make up a new name. But he was outside on his app looking at Life 360. And he's like, Alyssa, I know you're not at work. You're at the damn bar. Because he was able to see on Life 360 where her car was. Alyssa's 22.
I thought Alyssa was going to be 13.
Alyssa's
you're at
22.
The bar, Alyssa.
You're not at work. And I was laughing because I was like, holy crap, imagine if that was around when we were driving. But that's a whole nother topic. Life 360.
Okay, so you're thinking it as the bad way. In a bad way, but there's also very positive things about tracking your children.
But I'm talking about when I was in my 20s going out. That is not okay.
But your parents should not be tracking you in your 20s.
I think parents today are tracking their kids that are 20 and 21, 100%.
I think that was a very important time in college with the freedom. Obviously, we all find that freedom. It's important. Then we reel it in.
Yeah, reel it in. Reel it in.
And but I think in this time, it is important to know where your children are.
Yeah,
but now, why I think it wasn't as much before is we just didn't have the technology. So we just ran to the park, and when it was getting dark, we would just run home. It would be time for dinner.
100%. I never ran, but yeah, I went home.
I did. I think I was like, because I had like bruises on my knees all the time. I had scabs on. That sounds so
you
gross.
were that kid.
I would always fall on, and my same knee. I have scars all over them because I just was like, I think I was running everywhere.
I love it. I didn't have any. I didn't run.
But we played Manhunt.
I played Manhunt. I was just bad at it.
So you would be the hider.
Oh, I was terrible at it. No. It was real bad. Going back to a girls' trip. Come on.
I was going to say, let's talk about neighborhood friendships.
Let's do that. And we'll go back to girls' trips.
That was such a wonderful time period where I grew up with all these kids like in the same neighborhood, and we would hang out and, but I still think about the stories who were directly across the street from us. And I feel like I could pick up that friendship and talk to her. We're not regularly friends, but I feel like I can talk to her still like she's a family.
That's like the first.
Because she knows me as my core.
She knows you, Sarah. Yeah. And like that's like the first real friendship, right? I have completely. That too. I have my first real friendship. I'm going to call her out because she's amazing. Her name's Melena. That was my first best friend. Right. Like 5 years old, lived across the street. Kelly
get jealous?
My sister?
Oh, she didn't want to be best friends.
She don't give a shit.
Okay, got it.
Kelly's got like.
I wasn't sure. I didn't grow up with sisters.
No, Kelly has 47 best friends. If you ask Kelly, by the way.
So wait, has she been in so many weddings?
100%. And my sister was the one.
So many friends.
I grew up doing the Big Sweet 16. Italian Staten Island. We all had the 16 candles with the lighting of the candles. I don't know if you know what this is. Did you have this?
suppose.
Did you light candles and people come up at the party?
It sounds like it's a bar mitzvah.
Basically, but it's for Italians. It's, a sweet 16.
Did you wear like a quinceanera, like a big dress?
Oh, 100%. You wore a giant wedding dress. My sister had like
Is it
3...
white, like a communion
No,
like
I didn't do
dress?
white, but it's definitely a big dress. And you do like a big freaking party. And when I turned 16, I had like a best friend candle who's like one person. And like my friend Gina, who I'm still so close with today, our kids are 4 months apart. It's amazing. Our children are, and we're super close, but yet we won't talk for months and then we'll talk again. Yeah, my sister.
That's a beautiful thing.
My sister had like 47 best friends, all on like candles.
Okay,
it was a lot.
Can I ask this question? For people that have lots of friends like that, how much deep, authentic conversation do you have?
I don't know, because I was never that person. It exhausted me and scared me to have a lot of friends.
So as much as we yap and yip about all this crazy different things, I am really bad at like candy conversations, like that don't mean
like surface level.
Yes,
yeah, me
I guess
too.
Candy is us right
like
now.
Bullshit.
We have candy conversations,
but our bullshit is coming from a place of like
sincere honesty of our shit.
God, I hope
that
so.
We're going. No, we truly are. But I can't do just surface. That takes a lot more energy to me.
Yeah, I have to plaster on a smile and be like, hi.
If I can't, I think this is something with being a performer, is that you can know if you and that person have chemistry instantly.
Yes.
That's what we're taught to learn.
Yes.
And so if I don't have chemistry and we can't have a conversation, then that weight is on me and I am freaking out. And I'm like, I got to find something legitimate to talk to. And that's what talk about. And that's what makes me exhausted, I think, if I'm not going to have that chemistry.
And I also think, like you said, you have those one or two friends that are like your core friend that I'm going to say your very first friend. Yep. Your first friend that if you were to pick up the phone right now, they would answer.
Yeah.
They might, my very first friend would answer, but she would be like, what's wrong? What's going on? Because, we don't talk every day, but you'd be able to pick right back up. And that to me is a relationship that will never go away for everyone. I hope everyone has that. But then, like you said, I don't have a million friends as I started to age and grow up and live that are like my best friends. I don't have a million best friends.
Well, I would say for me, living in so many different cities, we're spread out so much. And I don't know if this is like more common now than than our parents, because they would live in the same neighborhood. They would like marry someone close by. And so then all your friends are in this. Now I lived in Miami. I lived in California. I did theater in Montana. You've been in multiple different places. And it's humorous because I think some of my like core friends, we kind of followed each other. Like when I went to school in Miami, then we went back to New York, and I had a couple friends that obviously went to New York, but it does make sense. It's the center of different entertainment industries. But keeping those friendships alive have been really important to me. And I always like randomly text some of those people because I was like, they genuinely give me energy.
And they know a part of you.
They feed my energy, and they do know me. I always used to say, if you knew me in my 20s and we're still friends, then man, you are a good person.
Oh my God, does that make me a good person?
You are sticking by. I just feel, for me, I'm so driven by my career that I think my focus sometimes wasn't as dedicated to some of the relationships. Yes, I had some, but I think I could have been better in friendships to keep them alive. But I think I was so committed to going for what I love, jumping into the deep end, but experiencing it all. Like when I was in Los Angeles, I loved meeting people. I loved connecting people to people. I loved my theater groups.
You were great at that.
Yeah. And so then I felt that maybe these keeping those core relationships, it wasn't the same value, even though I love all the people I talked to. I think I don't have as many close. I do though. All my friends from high school showed up to my birthday party. I don't know. I think I could have been better. I think I understand relationships and friendships much better now.
I was going to say that about myself.
Yeah, because I think I was living this very selfishly driven. I knew what I wanted for my career. And so if you can hold on for the roller coaster and the ride, which that's what I was saying is, and my energy was different. I would say it was a lot of fun then, but I think just my priorities changed in the importance of people.
I think you're bringing up such a good point with a lot of us climbing in our careers. Like for me, Tom used to joke that he'd be like, "You're my best friend." And I'm like, this isn't this is unhealthy, dude. I love you, but like we need to have more friends. I would always used to say like we need better friends. What's going on? We need
Was
more.
that what you would say?
No. I
thought
would
that's
say
how
it.
you would always say it.
I would say it to him.
Better friends.
Because I don't necessarily think I was very good at holding on to people. Because, like you said, I was jumping from city to city, and I was jumping from theater to theater, and I was also meeting so many people. And there's a big part of me that is very private. Surprisingly enough, that I was like, I just don't want to bring in someone into my world, and then it's like, oh, you don't understand my world, and I didn't want to deal with that friction,
that energy, because if you're dedicating so much of your time, like we said, that when the people are your important people, that they nurture that energy.
100%.
I don't mean to be such a hippy dippy, but
no,
there is you have to protect that. I feel like I had some great friends for certain times too. And I think
a time in the life. Yes.
Is it hard to release friendships? Do you find that you've had that experience? Do you have guilt about it?
Oh my God. I have a friendship that was a huge part of my life and my childhood, and then just one day flopped off.
Yeah, and it's unexpected.
And they flopped off, they claimed, for reasons that it was so odd. It was a reason of like, they don't get me anymore, or they didn't like my husband, who was my partner or boyfriend at the time. I don't like him, so they let go of me. And then now looking at the moment, I didn't understand it. And I thought, what did I do? Or what's wrong with that person? What's wrong with me? And now looking back, I think it's like feathers, right? They fall off because we're growing. And I was growing at a rate that she was not. And in a weird way.
She was the feather falling off?
She was the feather falling off. And I think we all have those. Every human has it.
Like maybe a leaf from a tree?
No, feather falling off. You're a peacock.
Peacocks shed their feathers.
I don't know, do they? I'm assuming they do.
They're beautiful feathers.
Yeah, and they're beautiful friends, but they got to go. And she had to go. And I think, and I didn't dismiss it.
I didn't mean to break down your usage of feathers. I just wanted to understand
But I remember feeling like, oh.
No, it hurts.
It killed.
But we change.
And I changed from that. Yeah, in a good way.
In our lives.
100%. And now looking back, it sounds funny. I had a confrontation with her recently. Not in a bad way. I just haven't seen her in 15-something years. And I had nothing to say and nothing.
Different people.
Which I had literally, and I didn't feel like I missed anything. Mm-hmm. So it was a good thing in a way that I remember going.
I didn't miss a thing, honey.
Right? No, I know. But in a way I remember thinking, oh, she's good. I'm good. We just have different lives and we're good. And I think every human goes through that. I would hope we go through that.
And I think the problem I have is, right, giving yourself grace in those moments that you do have to mourn what that was.
You should.
And we talk about relationships with whether it's men or your relationship, your loving relationship. But I was trying to say, be like, oh, you can love a man or a woman.
Yeah,
sorry, that's where I was. I was trying to find the way to say
love is love, people.
Love is love. But I was talking about friendships are things, and you might have 2 decades or more of friendship.
Yeah.
And sometimes the people evolve and change, whether it's what happened to them in life. And you have to be okay to say,
yes, you do.
All right, well, I can't force this. And just like a partnership. Yeah. I'm trying to say, like, what is a different word for it? Our partners are.
Yes.
Like, there's a time for it, and you have to be okay to move on. But I have had that recently, and it's been very difficult for me.
Yeah.
Because I found being self-reflective about who I am as a friend, and I want to be better, but I also think you try. We are all human, and we are trying our darndest. And when you go through traumatic things in your life, like we've talked about with I had a bad year where we had a lot of loss.
Yeah.
And I've changed completely as a person.
You're a different human.
Sometimes I say, man, I'm not as fun. And I think about the 20s where I was just like frivolous and fun and like we're running around Sunset Boulevard and we're but I've talked to you about this. There's also files for people in your life of this person's reliable.
Yeah.
If I need them, they show up.
100%.
I have a person like that from work when my dad passed and we were found out immediately and we had to do something with Lola, the dog. And I said, I'm going to leave Lola. I know this person will come get this dog.
Right.
And to have that kind of relationship that you can rely on and to not just have somebody that loves you for the highs.
And that's
so
the
when
thing.
you're low,
correct,
they don't leave you.
No. You said something before that sparked in my brain where I felt the same way, which was like, I'm going somewhere. I don't know where. It's a ride. It's going to be a freaking roller coaster. And I used to say that to Tom.
It's not going to be boring.
It's not going to be boring. Are you sure you're going to sign up for this ride? Mm-hmm. And I think some people jumped off. My train keeps moving. I think some people jumped off because they were like, this bitch is not for me. And I think some people stay on. I think the ones that stay are the ones that are your go-tos. But I will say, as I've gotten older, a little more mature mentally, I definitely have realized female friendships are really important.
Yeah.
But you don't need a dozen. You don't need 1,000. You don't need that. Certain female friendships in your life, it's important. I see my mom. My mom just turned 70. She has a core group of 4 women that I grew up with. They're like my second moms. And I see their friendship. And I thought to myself, good for you, Mom. I didn't think my mom was going to be that gal that keeps those relationships alive.
Work.
She said it the other day.
Talk about that.
It takes work. She's like, we got to plan. Yeah. We got to do.
You just got to schedule it. And you can't be, I found some people get sensitive. Oh, that person never invites me to that. Why don't I just invite? Why am I not the one?
Correct.
So I felt even Los Angeles, it's like, who's the people that are going to drive from Hollywood to Santa Monica? Like, those are the people you keep for a long time. Like, I would always be like, if you need me to show up for something, and I can be there, I am going to drive there. If it takes an hour, it'll take an hour. But I have to be there and support you. Yeah. And those are the people who are like, I was like, I can't believe, like, with boyfriend and girlfriend stuff or whatever the relationship is.
Yeah. Even with the dating apps,
it's like people will be like, I won't drive across LA to go, I won't date somebody at the beach. And you're like, everything takes effort.
Friendships
take effort.
Relationships take effort.
I am better with understanding that.
Yeah. I mean, that even happens with dating apps. I have friends who are like, he won't date me or I can't date him. He lives in Hoboken. I live in Manhattan. I'm like, guy, get it together.
If you meet them.
Sometimes it just takes work.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about today. Is that that's friendships taking work, and I think the older I am,
you'll put in the work.
Settled in a place in my career, feeling satisfied. I think I've been better with understanding, and I think even in my personal relationship with Chad, I'm a better person in a relationship in general.
Because you're more fulfilled.
I'm mature.
And I do feel, like I said, the girls' trip is a thing you have to plan. The thing that blows my mind, being a little older now, is that when you plan, I can't believe how we're planning. Like, we have a friend in our little girl group who, like, send a text and be like, all right, what's everyone doing on February 24th, 2026? I'm like, wait a minute. That's far away. But yet it's not.
I'm a very one-on-one type of person and I have another friend like this. I want to focus on me and you.
Sure.
And I want to know your story and what's going on in your life. If there's 5 women,
it feels a lot for you.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think what I've always gotten from you is you have this guilt that you're like, oh God, I didn't get the time with everyone. I need to give my time to everyone, right? Mm-hmm. Which I kind of get too. I think that's the performer in us where it's like, oh shit, did I talk to this person? Did I spend enough time with this one? I've started to let that go a little more where I'm like, if you want to talk to me, come talk to me. I love you all. But I think it's hard to separate yourself. You're an empath. You take on the other people, as they say.
Feel the energy.
Yeah, of course.
I've been loving my relationships now, multi-generational.
We were just talking about that. That's great.
Yes, because I was talking about why I think get along too is because you and I are both driven. We speak a very similar language with our family where we grew up, and that's really important. Now I'm looking for, and we inspire each other to be better as people and also in our career.
Yeah,
a career means a lot to me.
Me too.
Motivation and in that, I have found now, going back to school and having these women that were my professors, or even I've had really great conversations because now they're 10 years ahead of us.
Oh, yeah.
And there's so much I can learn from them that I just soak it in and just want to keep having like deeper conversations. I go right to like deep conversation with a lot of them.
That's really funny because we were chatting about this before we jumped on the mics, and it was like, the older generation of us, the 10, 15 years older than us. And I know we all listen to podcasts because that's like the new thing of like, that's you remember they used to have the talk shows. There's no talk shows anymore. Now it's like podcasts, but like Amy Poehler's podcast.
There's still talk shows. Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, there
Kelly
is.
Ripa
Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Ripa is still on with her husband. And
That's true. I should watch that.
Should you?
I don't know. Is it fun?
So I was just thinking, Could you be on a talk show with your husband every morning and then have a life outside of that?
I mean, Tom and I probably could. I just don't wanna.
I don't wanna. I watched it in the dentist the other day.
He's going to say the same thing. He's like, I just don't wanna. Like, we could definitely do it.
What a strain on a relationship.
It's a lot. I mean, Tom and I work together. We could definitely do it. But what I meant, like, the Amy Poehler podcast, she's interviewing a ton of people, but, she comes from a perspective of, like, she's in her 50s, so she's got 10, 15 years on us, right? So she's got, like, this cool perspective of, like, mental health that I never looked at before. Like you said, generational. And then there's, like, podcasts like The Giggly Squad where they talk about literally nothing and everything and bullshit. And I kind of love it.
And it also feels like a different language.
Like a different language.
Because I'm not at that place, just like we were talking about with friendships. I'm not that person that I was in my 20s.
But they're not in their 20s. They're like 35. But I think it's very funny.
Oh, 30. Sorry.
So they're not that far away from us, but like they're a different energy because they're not, in a relationship.
I don't say Riz.
What does that mean?
Charisma.
Oh, Riz. But you know what? My cousin's son is 17, and he said, like, that relationship I have with him. I know my hand is chatting. My hands are moving. My hands are flying. Sorry. If you can see me, my hands are flying. But he's 17, and, like, my friend's kid just turned 19, and I'm like, that relationship I have with them is super cool because I'm like, we're hanging out. And then I'm like, wait, no.
Who are you?
I'm super old. We're not hanging out.
I was like, what is that dance you did?
I think it's like,
hey,
cool.
I can hang with a 19-year-old.
No, and then I realized I can't. I can't.
It's just different. So what I have found is I look at these women that are now have gone through a lot of the things that
we're in the middle, dude.
Right in the middle.
We're in it. We're a little early than the middle, but we're like, it's an interesting time.
But so even how careers change in your 40s. Your family dynamics change in your 40s. Physically, the women change in their 40s. But I found the conversations with them have motivated me, but kind of gotten me really emotional to see what we go through. A lot of conversations are not made about women in their 40s into the 50s. It's a time where literally they think we're past our prime. And now you and I, we're like, wait,
this started.
I really feel like this is the meat of our lives.
Oh, I said to Tom the other day.
This is the steak.
It's the steak.
I'm a petite filet.
But I literally said to Tom, I said, we always have this thing.
So I love having that conversation with him.
Yes, because I said the other day, I was like, you know what? It sounds so funny. Like I have a friend who is a producer who's in her 50s, and she literally said this too. She said, wow, 39, 40, that's like the meat ages, man. She's like, I wish I was that age. And I was like, why? Because, here we are. I'm like, ooh, make me feel good. Yeah. I was like, why do you want to be that age? She's like, because you've learned everything in your 20s. You kind of honed it in your early 30s. And now you're hitting this moment where you're like, I know what I want and I know how to get it. And I'm not 55 and like, I need a break.
But I'm a little boring.
But we're all a little boring. So I thought it was interesting. And I also thought she said this too. She goes, good for you for starting your families and your marriages and your relationships in those 40s. And I thought, oh, she's right. Like my mom was like, I started my family in my 20s. I'm different. I'm different than I was in my 20s. I would have been a basket case, wife, mom, performer, everything, right? Like all those things. And to be now is cool.
You're doing it all and you still have wants and needs.
100%.
And a lot of women in the past didn't get those opportunities. And I stay-at-home moms are incredible. What they do, it is a job. We love you so much. But I think it was given that's what women did. And now I want friends that do want it all in that same kind of way and say, it's hard. So I really gravitate towards these friendships that are just like, let's be honest. Yeah. What are you going through? I don't want frivolous chit chat.
Yes.
Of just like.
I do agree with that. And I also think.
Oh, I also probably definitely need that. Not saying like we all need very deep conversations.
No, I can't do deep every day. My mental state won't take it.
Yeah. And I think when we sit here and talk.
Yeah, we bullshit.
But like I said, I still feel like very connected to you. And so the conversation is important.
Well, it's coming from a place of, like, as we always say, pure love, we hope. It really is. But pure. But I will say this. Don't judge me, people. Don't hate me. I do feel if you are not friends with a gay man in your life and you're a woman, you're missing out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. But being the friends that I have that are gay men are like my lights. They're the best humans to be friends with. I also have this joke.
But also you don't see them. Like that's something that I always wonder, why do we have to put that preface on it?
I know.
But I do celebrate it.
I celebrate the shit out of it.
So it is an interesting thing, but I could not agree more. Like, I mean, as someone that has like done theater all
right,
all
I want
over.
it all day, and you don't know what you're missing out until you speak to them, because then you're like, wow, it's a new way of looking at life. It's this brand new.
So whatever friendships that we're saying is these core people that are in your life that know you genuinely, and you can trust, and those relationships are really important. But it is a lot of work.
Yeah, sure.
Once I had loss, the people I leaned upon, like when I lost a baby, or when I lost my father, or a dog.
Everything.
When you talk to people that have gone through it,
it
makes a
huge
bigger difference. So I have friends that haven't had those experiences, and they mean well, right?
Of course,
they mean well. But when you some of that language, which sucks, it's a sucky thing to go through.
It's a sucky.
But when you can speak to that, and I found people that I didn't expect that I would be the support, because I didn't even know the loss that they had, because it wasn't even in my radar yet. And now I found those people to be really close to my heart.
So maybe what we're saying here, and this is something that I think I didn't connect until just now, and then also as I'm in the age that I'm at, is it's not so much friendship. Yes, it's friendship, but it's also the support system. Your support system of who the people you call. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter who the hell it is, but it's got to be that person that you said, I'm here. I may not understand it, but I'm here.
And those are the long-term people. But,
yes.
But it's not wrong to have candy friendships.
Candy friendships.
Network friendships. I think friendships that we just know what they are. We're going to have some fun.
I mean, I have a few friends that are like straight up business bullshit friends that I'm like, we're friends out of business, and I love that. We will be putting
out the names of the business bullshit.
But we talk business every time we talk, but we love it.
Oh yeah.
And I hope they're doing well, but it's like business.
Do you love when you see someone that you connected to at a different part in life, and we've talked about earlier, where you got right to that same place? I find myself just like pouring out information.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, let's pivot back. I need to talk more about this. Yes. But these are people that you could I know we'll have them on this podcast.
Yes.
So many of them are entrepreneurs that are go-getters like us. And that's the stuff where I never want to stop looking at what's next. And I want people that inspire me to be better versions of me. In life and career.
Yes. I'm also going to throw in, because this just happened to me the other day. Sometimes you're forced to have a friendship, meaning my son does like little jamboree classes.
Oh my gosh.
And little music classes.
I know this to be. Right? I don't know because I'm an aunt.
No,
but I've seen it.
Of course you know.
So when I go hang out.
Dog parents. I get forced as a dog parent.
No, that is not what I'm talking about. I'm surely not talking about dog parent friends.
Well, I was a dog parent friend with someone, and it was awful. Yeah, it was the stupidest friendship.
Oh my God. I'm the aunt that shows up to all the parties, and I'm always like, if Chad can't go, it's me on my own, just trying to be like, I jump in the bounce houses with them, and they're like, there's Crazy Sarah, or wonderfully dedicated. I was trying to give myself a better name than crazy.
It's all right.
Like enthusiastic.
In Italian, you say ubats. Ubats.
Oh right,
crazy.
Okay, got it. But the mothers don't talk to me, because I don't think. Of course, Janice is really close friend, but these ones that are forced upon mothers from the school, that the kids are friends, so they have to.
I see it.
So then none of them talk to me, because they don't
know.
They don't need to. She don't have a kid,
honestly, and it's kind of exhausting. Like I see it with the little jamboree classes.
Yeah,
some mothers,
I'm in the bounce house.
I'm trying to be friends, or they're trying to be friends, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just be honest. We would never gonna be friends. You don't like me, I don't like you. We're just not the same human. Like, sometimes, but you're forced.
So you already know you don't like one of them?
I know in a second. I'm like, this ain't gonna work. But your kid is friends. I'm like, oh shit, Maverick, don't like the son. Go over there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like
you're directing your kid. You're like, oh, but I do want to know her. But I'll be friends with Billy.
I see it. Or my sister's got 2 older kids, so like I go to all their parties all the time. And even before I had Maverick, I'd go by myself or with Tom, and Tom would be like, wait, Cal's friends with these parents? I'm like, no, it's forced friendships because their kids are friends. So there's a lot of that. But sometimes you do find great friendships from their children or your children or whatever. And that's also great too. But I have to ask this.
Go for it.
Apparently, they're bringing back adult sleepovers. How do we feel about adult sleepovers?
I love my space. We've learned this. I love my space. I didn't have sisters. I loved sleepovers when I was a kid.
Okay. Could you do an adult sleepover right now?
Well, you say adult. I want my nieces to come sleep over.
That's adorable. That's adorable sleepovers.
So I can't wait to do that.
Sure.
I have sleepovers recently. One of my friends from work, we've been having sleepovers. But her and I can't we don't go to sleep then.
Because you're up talking?
Yes.
Like teenagers?
Yeah, yes.
That's kind of cute though.
But that's an adult sleepover.
I want to know, what does an adult sleepover entail? Because for me...
Wine.
Wait, right.
Gummies for those who like gummies.
Gummies, wine. Do I have my own separate bed? Is it a comfortable bed?
Have you ever are you marijuana at all?
No.
Gummies?
I have. You want to hear my marijuana story?
This might be a whole episode.
So this might be a whole episode, but I will tell.
It is legal.
I'm going to save it because it is a ridiculous.
We're saving it. We'll get to that. Don't start.
It is a ridiculous. Don't start.
So gummies are.
No. I've done it, but I think in a sleepover situation, gummies, hands down, wine. Do I get my own bed? Like, is it comfortable? I have to bring my, red light mask, my eye slugs that I now call because of you.
Red
Oh
mask?
No, I
you
have a
do
red
that
light
every night.
No, but I'm assuming I try. I
But you're not going to bring that to a party.
But see, that's what's happening. I bring shit that I'm like, oh, maybe someone else will want to try it, and I'm bringing it. But like, I'm not going to
be better at a girls' sleepover than I think. I like one-on-one.
Okay, but I'm not going.
Did I reiterate that?
How many times do you want to say that? I'm not going to a sleepover with a bunch of freaking mattresses on the floor like a crack house.
No.
Like, I'm going to a sleepover.
What is this? A whorehouse?
I'm going to a sleepover at an Airbnb or like done right?
Yeah, I think that's really fun.
I'm hoping that's what they are.
I'm scarred from when I was a kid in like third grade. There was a sleepover party and we watched it and it freaked me out. And I think I also got kicked. I was like the loud kid at one party and like the mother had to give me I don't know if I was good at sleepovers.
I never slept at sleepovers.
Well, I think I wasn't. So like one I was like very scared at and then one I was too loud at. So maybe I'm scarred and that's where I have me time.
I think there was one sleepover.
I'm really working on my relationships with therapy.
Totally. I'm going to therapy.
I'm scarred from my past sleepovers.
Do you think there was one sleepover as a kid I went to where I called mom and said, come pick me up? Not that they were making fun of me. That wasn't happening, but it was a little level of like, this is intense. I remember feeling that as a kid. This is intense. I think as an adult, I can hold my ground, so I think I'd be really good now in sleepovers. But as a kid, I remember feeling like, ooh, this is a lot. But then I have pictures of me at my, 9-year-old sleepover with like everything was covered in New Kids on the Block. Jordan Knight posters. Yes. I think I was 8 or 9.
Picture.
And then like my bedspread, I had New Kids on the Block lamp. I had
have you gone to their concerts?
Yeah. I went as a kid.
Yeah, but now as an adult, I've gone as an adult.
Well, I have to tell you, I went as a kid. My dad bought tickets, sat me down, and was like, you know how expensive these tickets are? And by the way,
you better
guilted the shit out of me, brought me to the concert, me and him. He wouldn't let me bring a friend, but it was actually kind of cute. And then I went as an adult. I did not think I was going to enjoy it. I was the whole car ride. I was going because my friend Tracy's husband, Eddie, turned 40 and we were like, yeah, let's do it.
Wait, you went for a
Eddie's
husband?
It was actually kind of amazing.
But
Tracy's husband, Eddie. It was amazing.
No, it's funny because you'd think it'd be all women, but the men showed up
No, she had a room. She did it right.
My goodness,
it was amazing.
How awesome.
We had a great time. Here's the thing. The whole car ride, I was like, this is going to be fun. I'm so glad Eddie's turning 40, but like, I'm not going to, it's like whatever. It's New Kids on the Block. It's Tiffany, who I don't really remember, but like, I remember New Kids on the Block.
I think we're alone now.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't seem to be anyone around.
Wait,
see, this is friendship you need.
Remember.
That you can sing the songs on cue together.
I freaking remember like those
toured
songs.
malls.
She toured malls. But I get to this concert, New Kids on the Block gets on stage, and Tom died because I was like, what? I was screaming. No. Basically, I would have ripped off my top if I wasn't braless like I wore like those pasties. I would have ripped off my top. I was losing shit. I could not believe it.
You had pasties
I had pasties on. I don't have big boobs, guys, so I can wear those.
You could have done it.
I was losing it. And Tom videoed me screaming.
Do you know that?
I know.
They just wear little bits of nothing. I saw somebody at work the other day had a thong with just a tissue around their waist.
No, I'm not doing that.
Her booty is out.
But
I couldn't even fathom us wearing that.
Full on screaming.
Yeah,
and the only disappointment, and they were great guys. New Kids on the Block, you were great. The only disappointment, I kind of like, it was a real like eye-opening moment of like, oh, that's how old they are. They all had like, you know those things you tape on your body for like heat and injuries.
Tours are very hard.
I know, but they were all over their knees and their elbows, and I'm like, these guys are definitely old.
Then why didn't we have them in like sexy long sleeve button
It was
down?
so funny.
Open,
you saw them with the Theraheat like
but that's
strips.
everybody. Doing a tour is very hard.
100%. I tour. I don't tour every day of my life, but like, this is hard on their bodies. But it was a real eye opener that I was like, oh wait, we're not 12.
No, been there.
I'm not 9 anymore.
And it's bringing you back to a very special time.
It was fun though.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
When we were talking about sleepovers and stuff, I was thinking about my past some more and going through my own therapy session in my head. I wasn't good with cliques.
Cliques are tough.
So I was bullied in junior high because I think I talked about this back in the day. And so that's when I gravitated towards my people in theater.
Yeah.
But then once I overcame that, because I was always a confident kid, then I got broke down. And then to re-blossom into who I was about high school.
Yeah.
And I was just literally in orchestra. I was in soccer. I was theater.
You did it all.
But I loved all those different people. Maybe that's because I'm a Gemini. I'm like, ooh, I like to adapt to different types of people because that's who I am. But I never stayed in one group because it wasn't me. I had all these different colors of my personality. Yeah. So I would gravitate to people.
I'm kind of like that too as a kid. I remember that.
And then piggybacking off of that, there are people that you have genuine instant chemistry with.
Oh, 100%. These are your people.
If you can't get that,
you're going to kind of look elsewhere.
When I went to college freshman year, you met her the other day, Anastasia.
Great human.
We met on orientation day. There was 3 of us, and they're all from Jersey, and we were best friends.
That's
and
it.
But it was instant.
Yeah.
And I think just like we talk about with relationships and meeting a partner, that instant awesome feeling where you just are like, oh, this is someone I want to be close with.
Sure.
I think it's just the same with friendships.
Guys, get your female friendships on. I mean, go to your sleepovers. What else can we say?
I don't think that people are going to get into this. I think
You don't think sleepovers is going to be a thing?
I think we're going to go on girl trips.
Do your girl trips. I think I do a girl trip each year. I think they're totally fun. Maybe Sarah and I will do a girl trip together and do a podcast from
Napa.
the girl trip. Napa. We have to do our
I feel
happiness.
like that's the token girl trip.
We have to do our happiness.
Happiness.
Because it's time.
Okay.
I have to think of a new one.
My happiness is I got new clip-in extensions because the ones I use for work have become very ratty. I thought I was doing good and washing them. This is my alter ego, Sarah, who goes to work.
Sarah.
She wears her fake tanner.
Love Sarah.
And she adds in her extra coif of hair. And I got new ones, but I'm a little nervous. I got it from Glam Seamless, but they have roots.
Oh, okay.
No, on purpose.
Oh,
Just like me. This is where I say my jersey showing.
I love it.
My root.
Because your roots are coming out.
So I'm excited to see these extensions and see how the roots work.
And where'd you get them from?
If they're going to make me feel good or make me feel bad about my roots, then I need to get my hair done more often.
Where'd you get your extension?
Seamless. I've been trying to send them to you and because you know what? You can figure it out because you have one-tone hair, not strong highlights.
Yeah.
Mine is very layered and, my hair that I haven't seen and that's at the roots. I don't know what color it is. Maybe like a chestnut brown.
You know
maybe
what?
Someday I'll go.
You're going to have to teach me how to do
Is that a very vain happiness?
I think anything brings whatever happiness is your happiness. Don't judge it. I love it.
I'm nervous about it, but I'm excited to not have a rat's nest.
You're going to have to teach me how to do hair extensions because I kind of want to do it every now and then. I want the ability to be like, I'm making my hair longer today. I want it. That's what I want.
I want to make my hair longer.
Here's my happiness. And this is also going to be a little materialistic, but it makes me feel good. I bought Victoria Beckham's plumping mascara.
Oh.
Can we just talk about her amazing eye line of
she's not doing
mascara?
Good. There's some scandal with her and her kid. Do you know that?
I don't know.
Build your relationships with your family.
But
I thought you were going to say you went to Victoria's Secret. And I was like, ooh, which I need to get a new bra.
I have not gone there.
So would you just go to Target? Would you get expensive bras still?
That's a whole nother topic.
No, but I need to know.
I'm done with the underwire.
I have underwire on today because I have a professional job
it's
afterwards.
different. If
you have a professional job, 100%, are you wearing wire?
I'm underwiring it all the time.
Exactly.
When I
not
don't.
Saying we're not professional here.
I'm underwiring that bitch.
I respect you today with an underwire boob.
But I'm going to say if it's not a job or something, anymore. I'm not wearing an underwire. It fucking hurts.
So do you go to Victoria's Secret?
Not really anymore.
When was the last time you got yourself a good bra?
Like last year. I need to get a new one. That's like the next thing.
This is a good topic.
I know.
Undergarments.
I know, undergarments. But wait, I have to say, I have to go back to Victoria's Secret.
I love mascara. I love a good mascara.
Victoria's Secret. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Victoria's
sorry.
Secret. Victoria Beckham, her mascara is insane. And I don't wear falsies because I don't know how. I try.
It's a lot of work. They're a pain.
You have to teach me. I try. I get
Did you
them all
ever
over the
do
place.
Extensions? They do.
I'm scared.
So I did it once in Los Angeles, and then they grow out, and then they start to look like spiders, and they start like
can't
crisp.
do it.
So they're a lot of high maintenance.
Yeah, I can't do it. I try. I mean, I have decent lashes.
And then a makeup artist came up and started wanting to cut, and I started panicking.
No, scissors and eyelashes freak me out. So like, I have decent eyelashes, but like, really, honestly, I want the falsies.
Sephora?
So I bought it off her site, Victoria Beckham's beauty
has a
site.
full line of
she
makeup?
Also, my makeup gal, Linda
She's got
Kaufman.
clothes. She's got makeup.
Yeah.
She's got, I'm sure she has perfume.
She probably does, but she's pretty amazing. Linda, my makeup gal who did my makeup for my comedy special taping, got me onto Victoria Beckham, the eyeliner, the smudgy thing.
All right. This is a whole
This is
nother
a whole.
thing.
It's great, but that's my happiness. We'll go into that.
Don't start merch that's going to have, it's all going to be makeup, nail polish, lip gloss.
That's actually going to be.
But let's not start once you get me on makeup.
Don't start. Wait, you have a hard out today, so we got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I also love hairspray. It's like my spinach. Oh, okay.
Don't my spinach.
All right.
By the way, I have to put spinach in my smoothie. We'll talk about that another time. I love you.
That's another conversation.
I love you. Bye. Thanks for joining us today.
You can follow us on Instagram at Don't Start Podcast.
Or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
And we'll see you next time, friends.
Don't Start is produced by Anthony Street Productions.